Godzilla versus Kong. Now, I'm not talking about a review because obviously I've not watched this film yet, but a big piece of news coming out from the Godzilla versus Kong film is that this film is doing big business, guys. Big, big business, especially overseas. It's made 122 million in its opening weekend overseas. That's huge. In a COVID-19 like society we're living in right now, where businesses are closing, people are losing their jobs and all of that, to see a film do so well is really surprising to me. I wasn't expecting this film to do so well in its opening weekend. I wasn't expecting that. Now, most of it's come from China. A big portion of it has come from China, it has to be said. Obviously, China's a massive market now. They've really tried to promote this film in China. It's a big, it's got a big market in the Asian countries. Obviously, from Godzilla being a Japanese property, has very high interest in Asia. So this is definitely a market that they're trying to hit, and they've hit it really well. Made $70 million in its opening weekend in China. For a US film, a US produced film, that's huge, guys. That's massive, especially in the society we're living in right now. Now, obviously, this comes back to the whole thing of the release of Godzilla vs. Kong, because obviously in England, the cinemas are still shut. So I know in America, this is getting released on HBO Max and concurrently being released in cinemas. Like limited release in cinemas. It's not a wide release, but it's getting a limited release in certain cinemas in America. Now, obviously in England, we haven't got any cinemas open. We're still in a lockdown. We're kind of gradually coming out of it, but we're still in the phase of being in a lockdown. So we won't be getting this film in cinemas anytime soon anyway. I think cinemas are planned to reopen around mid-May. And the sad thing is, I think a Godzilla vs. Kong film, especially with how society's been due to COVID, imagine this film coming out in cinemas. Imagine if they would have waited to release this film as one of the first big tentpole films to be released post-lockdown. Say, for example, it gets released mid-May instead of getting released in like early April. That would be amazing. The cinemas would have been flooded, even in England, right? I'm not just talking about America, like their domestic box office. I'm just talking about the English box office. I think it would have been huge, Godzilla vs. Kong. And I think a film like this needs to be seen in cinemas. I've always thought that. When you have a big tentpole film like this, big special effects, big atmosphere, big score, you need that kind of cinematic feel. You need the cinemas, you need the sound, you need the big screen, whether you're going to watch it in IMAX or just a regular cinema. You need that experience, in my opinion, to really appreciate a film like this. And it's just kind of a shame that we're not going to get that. It is a shame that we're not going to get the big experience of really watching Kong versus Godzilla in that experience in the cinema. But obviously, abroad, it's doing really good. In China, like I said, it's made $70 million over in China. That's huge. It's a massive bit of business there for Warner Brothers, and it shows this film definitely has potential. If they did want to release this film when cinemas reopen, I do think this will get some sort of a theatrical release. I do think that in England. Obviously, like I said, limited release in America, but I do think when cinemas reopen, we will get this film out at some point in cinemas. I really do. I really do think that. Now, as far as me reviewing Godzilla vs. Kong, I don't know how it's going to go, because I don't think, say, like, for example, with Zack Snyder's Justice League, they released it on Now TV as well as HBO Max. I don't think it's getting released on like a Now TV or a Netflix or anything like that over in England. I don't know if it's just gone to straight for like renting on like streaming services. So if you wanted to, like, I don't know, for example, you want to watch it on your Xbox, you can go onto the Xbox store and rent it from there, possibly. But or you could torrent it, I guess, if you wanted to. But I won't be doing that. I don't like torrenting. It kind of goes against everything I go for. Even though I did contemplate it because I really want to watch it. But you can't. Like I want to watch this film properly. So my review for Godzilla vs Kong will probably come out, I'm guessing, when they release it in cinemas. So when cinemas reopen in mid-May, if they do release this film in cinemas, I probably will watch it. Or if before then they release it on a Now TV or an Amazon Prime or a Netflix or something like that, then I'll probably review it then. But I'll probably will wait till it comes out in cinemas, because I think a film like this, you need the experience. And it's very clear to see, judging by the box office so far, it's doing very, very well. I mean, I think it's tracking for like a $30 or $40 million opening weekend in America. And that's just from a limited release. So 30 to 40 million limited cinemas in America, that's what it's tracking for, $30 to $40 million. That's huge. Like, most films that get a wide release don't even get anywhere close to making 30 to 40 million. So the fact that it's tracking for that, I mean, I think the Godzilla King of the Monsters film was kind of going, I think it made around that. I think it was made around $40 million opening weekend, and that was wide release. So it shows that this film definitely has a market. It has people excited. I'm excited to see it in cinemas if it does come out eventually, which I think it will. But guys, let me know your thoughts. What do you think of the box office from Godzilla vs Kong? Do you think it would do well having a wide theatrical release? Are you going to be watching it early? You're going to wait for it to come out in cinemas? Let me know, guys, what your thoughts are on that discussion.